All right, Flo. We knew this would happen. Two games that weren't great, and now the media just going crazy. Let's check out a few clips, and then we'll talk about it.
What did I want to see from Brock Purdy? How he would respond in the exact situation that you have to be able to come through in if you're going to be the quarterback of a Super Bowl champion. I said I want to see him in a situation where the other team knows he has to pass, where they are down late, and see how he comes through. And what did he do? He threw one of the worst picks of the NFL season. Then his defense got a stop. He got the ball back, and he threw another one. A lot of guys, when everyone is exactly where they're supposed to be, when the defense is more worried about the run, when you have a skill advantage all over the field, a lot of guys can look sharp. But all of a sudden you're down somebody. All of a sudden the other team is teeing off against the pass. All of a sudden you've got to stand there and make throws. And it's not that he just didn't come through. He gave the game away on the first pick, got a reprieve thanks to his defense, and gave it away again.
Lost confidence. I knew what he was to begin with. I noticed when we had this conversation about 3 weeks ago, Stephen A., I was trending because I said Brock Purdy wasn't elite. Now all of a sudden, I ain't getting nothing. Nobody was on my timeline. Shannon doesn't know what he's talking about. Shannon's a hater. He's jealous. I didn't get any of that last night. Remember, I said if you remove that hedge, it's amazing. The Minnesota Vikings and Brian Flores says, you know what? We're taking Christian McCaffrey away. We refuse to let him run the football. We want the ball in that elite quarterback's hand, Brock Purdy. And what happened? 2 interceptions. They had 3 interceptions. They had 3 turnovers coming into the game. They had 3 turnovers in their first 6 games.
Okay.
They had 3 last night. And when the defense can't be perfect, Kirk Cousins was 8 of 13 on third downs. When he couldn't be perfect, when everything around him couldn't be perfect, and they asked Brock Purdy to deliver us, he didn't. He didn't do it. He is what he is, because I look at it like this. If Brock Purdy is elite, we need another definition for Patrick Mahomes, because he's ungodly. He's astronomical. He's out of the world. Brock Purdy is what he is. When things are really, really well, he can operate within that system Saturday. But when you ask him to go outside and to be extraordinary, Christian McCaffrey can't run the football. You're down Debo. And then you saw what happened. He is what he is. And I didn't lose confidence because I know what he was to begin with.
All right, man. We got Nick right there saying stuff. You got your boy Shay saying a little bit. And there's a lot more, man. I could put out like 10 videos I saw today. But what do you think about this? Honest opinion. Do you think what we're hearing from Twitter and a lot of other places that he's finally turned into a pumpkin, or all he is a system? What do you feel about this whole situation, man?
I just think it was just pretty much 2 rough outs. Obviously, the Cleveland game, I was a little more critical on that game just because I felt when he had that fumble where they stripped him, that kind of changed the game during that time. Purdy, the good thing about him is usually he's able to get rid of the ball so we don't take those negative plays or those plays that end up becoming fumbles because you hold the ball too long. But that Cleveland game, I understand their defense was legit. They're probably the best defense, but that game, obviously, that hurt us. But even in that game, he did drive us. He put us in a position to actually win that game. It's just numbers weren't that great. This Minnesota game, he actually had decent numbers. If it wasn't for those picks, he almost threw for 300 yards. Only 1 touchdown, but obviously the receiving core wasn't there without Debo. Him and Ayuk were still finding it. But I think right now, this was just a kind of something that was waiting to happen. Once he ended up with a few losses, I knew the media was going to come after him saying that he's just a system guy. They've been waiting to say that this whole season. But for the most part, I'm not worrying. I'm not like just hopping off the bandwagon or anything like that. I still believe in this guy. He's solid, but it's just going to be this is his time to prove what he really is. If he's really that guy who doesn't get rattled when things aren't going his way. And I feel that he's going to respond well. And the Cincinnati game, I'm expecting big things out of him. What do you think?
A wise man once said, by the name of Aaron Rodgers, RELAX, relax. And I believe that, man. I believe that we just need to be patient. It's 2 weeks, but Cleveland, like you said, that last drive was big. We should have won that game with a field goal. That was a clutch drive right there. In this game, the first 3 quarters, he was on fire, man. He had a passer rating at over 100. His against the blitz, he was on fire. That fourth quarter, it was 2 bad passes that kind of cost us. I think I'm not trying to make excuses, but he's throwing the ball expecting the guys to be in a certain spot. The thing with Jawan Jennings, that's usually where Debo's at. He's not as fast as Debo. Jawan Jennings, I think he's like a 4.7, 4.8 guy. So he threw it, and he was anticipating he would be there. Jawan Jennings is not that fast. So it just didn't work out. And, he made those 2 mistakes, and they were huge. So I'm not going to go out there and say he played a good game. I'm not like that. But I still believe in this guy, man. To me, people are saying, oh, he's Jimmy. He's turned into a pumpkin, all this stuff. I just don't see him, man. He had a really good game this week. He just those passes. So I personally believe that he's going to bounce back. And he's going to finish all 4 quarters. We've seen it already from him. He's done it time in and time out. Even in the playoffs, he was pretty solid for us. So I'm not panicking. I really feel that he's going to step it up. All the haters out there, you know what? They could come. They could say it. They have the right to. He had 2 bad games. So I'm not going to go out there and complain, oh, Nick Wright, this, that. No, what happened? It happened. But I don't feel the same way when I felt when we had Jimmy Garoppolo, Alex Smith. I still don't, man. I know a lot of guys are trying to get off that bandwagon. I'm just saying relax, man. I feel that it's all right. He's going to be fine. A few weeks ago, he was in MVP conversation. Now people are jumping off the bandwagon. And we heard the report from Grant Cohn today saying that if he has a bad game this week, Sam Darnold's starting. So that's ridiculous, man. There's no question. No way we're going to go with Sam Darnold. But that's just my thought, man.
Yeah, I think it's just right now the whole team was just kind of playing bad. It wasn't just Brock Purdy. It was a team effort, obviously. Even McCaffrey, who's also an MVP guy, he fumbled the ball early when we were in the red zone. So that hurt us. And then our defensive line just hasn't been quite like in past years where they're just creating havoc. They're doing okay, but that and then our secondary is just kind of atrocious right now, man.
It didn't help us out because I think the first half we only had 3 drives. But it just seemed like we had so many, but it's just like we couldn't get 3 and out. We couldn't stop them, dude. Third downs, they kept getting the ball. I wonder what the hell the time of possession was, because it seemed like they had the ball a lot longer. They had 80-yard drives, 90-yard drives. It kept happening. So we didn't have a lot of damn possessions, but every time the first 3 quarters, we were driving down the field like nothing. So I'm not panicked at all. I think we'll be fine. Just relax, and I feel he's going to bounce back. I really do. So I'm not tripping. I'm not ready to call him a pumpkin. I just think that we're far away from that, and I don't think that's going to happen, man.
All right, well, you guys let us know in the comments what you guys think about Brock Purdy. Are you still riding with him, or are you guys off the wagon? Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. See y'all next time.
Peace.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.